Hello friends, today we are in the sacristy. Now I remember some of you came into the sacristy once before with me during worship for a children's sermon. And this is the sacristy where things are prepared for worship. And on the other side of that wall is the worship space for those of you who haven't been back here before. So this coming weekend is called Transfiguration. Transfiguration, what a long word, isn't it? And I'll tell you more about that word later. But that means that the colors that we have on the altar and on the lectern and on the walls change to white. And we have some great people called the Altar Guild who will come back here and they will find the white paraments, are what these are called, and they will hang them on the altar and the lectern. The lectern is where we speak. And then Nancy Martin will come in and she will pick the white banners and hang them on that tall brick wall. Then Pastor Raylan and I will come in, this is our closet, and we will pick a stole that is white. I have 3 of them here. Or a chasuble that is white. That's that big garment that we wear for communion. And that's a lot of changes just for one Sunday, because the next Sunday we will be in the season of Lent, which is purple, and everything will change again. But I want to tell you the story of Transfiguration today, and here it is from the Spark Story Bible. Peter, James, and John were excited. They were climbing the mountain with Jesus. Higher and higher they climbed right to the top. And then they noticed something different about Jesus. His clothes were bright and shiny like the sun. And then Moses and the prophet Elijah were standing with Jesus, and they were talking together about God's promise to save the world. Peter couldn't believe his eyes. And then all of a sudden a cloud covered the mountain, and a voice from heaven said, "This is my son, the beloved. Listen to him." Peter and James and John covered their faces. They had never experienced anything like this. And then Jesus touched them, and they peeked, and everything was the same as it was before. Moses and Elijah weren't there anymore, and Jesus looked like Jesus. On the way back down the mountain, Jesus, Peter, James, and John talked about God's promise. But Jesus said, "Don't tell anyone yet about what has happened here today." So Jesus was transfigured. That means his appearance changed. And this was kind of a little hint of what was going to come. There were going to be some bad days ahead as they journeyed together to Jerusalem, and Jesus would be killed. But we know on Easter he was raised from the dead. And that transfiguration that they saw on the top of the mountain was a lot like Jesus' resurrection from the dead. That's a lot to take in. Remember, transfiguration, and that means kind of glowing like the sun. Someday when it's really sunny, look down at your clothes and see if they transfigure a little bit, if they're glittery or shiny, that kind of thing. That's what it was like, but it was all of the top of that mountain, and Moses and Elijah with Jesus too. Have a great week, everyone. Bye-bye.